And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church.
The Minneapolis mayor called today's shooting an unspeakable act and being safe in a school or church a basic assurance. But the data shows it's anything but. According to the Gun Violence Archive, more than 830 children, 17 or younger, have died from gunshot wounds so far this year. For tonight's interview, we are joined by Jillian Peterson, who studies mass shootings and the commonality in the shooters at the Violence Project in the hopes of reducing their frequency. Jillian, it's good to have your expertise again, even though it's always on these difficult situations. How does this situation, this shooting, match up with your research on other mass shootings?
So much about this shooting is really consistent with what we see over and over and over again, where you have a former student or current student of the school. When it's a former student, they're oftentimes men in their early 20s going back to target their former elementary school. They tend to be isolated and alone, angry, suicidal, hopeless, delusional, and they do this in order to force the world to see them, to read their horrific things that they leave behind. They almost always commit suicide on the scene and then leave behind what we call a legacy token to go viral. So really, this case is really consistent with everything we see over and over again. When
we've talked about this before, you've said it's their final act, this notion that it's a suicide, which means having armed guards is not a deterrent. I mean, that's what they're hoping to go out in a blaze of glory, as it were.
They are, yes. And we've interviewed school shooters who have told us, I plan to be shot by the police officer who is there on the scene. Because they're insiders, they're current or former students, they know the school, they know the layout, they know the security procedures. And we saw that here where this perpetrator, barricaded these kids inside the building and then shot in through the windows.
We've talked about the ways in which these kinds of shooters can be reached and some of the measures that can be put in place. Remind me again of what your research has found.
We find that these perpetrators always give off warning signs. They tell people that they're thinking about this. They post things on social media. Their behavior is changing. They're acting odd. Oftentimes, they're really obsessed with former school shooters and spend a lot of time on spaces that celebrate school shootings online. And what's emerging seems to fit that pattern. I think we'll see sort of who knew what when to know where the intervention could have happened, but it's about making sure people know these warning signs and intervene before this happens.
Are any schools putting in any of the intervention measures we've talked about in the past that help try to identify these often young men who need to be seen?
There are schools really working on this. I've been part of a 3-year project with the St. Paul Public Schools who have built what they call CARE teams, which stands for Collaborate, Assess, Respond, and Evaluate in every school and at the district level, that when people are concerned about kids, they report to this CARE team and they try to intervene really with kind of compassion instead of punishment. So people are trying. I think it's harder when you're dealing with men who are in their early 20s who are really disconnected from so many systems.
20 seconds left. How do they help the kids who survived a shooting like this?
These kids are going to have a long recovery. We know from survey data that 80 to 95% of them are going to have mental health impacts that are long lasting. And so they will really need their community to wrap around them.